New Arc Raider content I gotta get to. Let's talk. What up, viewers? What up, Calc Soups here, and today is Friday, November 14th, and that means it's time for a quick recap of the week in video game news. The biggest news, I think, of this week was Steam hardware. Steam is making more hardware. They continue to not make software, which I think is quite interesting considering software has larger margins. But Steam's trying to get more hardware in our hands, and as someone with what was the thing? A Steam controller that doesn't work anymore, and a Steam Stream. There was like a Stream box or something like that. Anyway, I digress. They announced 3 new big pieces of hardware without prices. The first of which is a small cube called a Steam Machine that you can plug in. It's kind of been described as like a Steam Deck without the screen, so it can run and operate games, and you just have to kind of like HDMI plug it in and power it up. And as someone with a controller or a computer behind, a small condensed computer behind me just to kind of stream Steam games, sounds like a great thing to have. Maybe replaces my Steam Deck. I don't know, but very interested in that. They also have a new controller. It looks very much kind of like a mix between the PlayStation controller and but it still has it has trackpads at the bottom. It's a really cool thing. I'll have a link down below for you to check it out. But it's got both thumbsticks and trackpads and has back buttons, so it's probably going to be worth a pretty penny. And then they have finally figured out, they've cracked the code on wireless VR. So they have a wireless VR that you can just kind of dongle into something, and you should be able to play VR on it. Supposedly very good with your Steam machine. So yeah, that's pretty awesome. A lot of really cool stuff. I like most of the Steam hardware family, so excited to see that. This is the second time they've kind of done a Steam machine before, so I'd be interested to see what they have. Like I said, a lot of speculation on what the price point will be. People are estimating around $500, which I would somewhat agree with. I think the controller is probably going to be somewhere between $100 and $150, and then it's kind of a toss-up on what a VR headset will cost, considering the Alex was quite expensive. So hopefully this one's a little bit more reasonable, even if it comes with less cords. But that's all the Steam news. Moving on, as I talked about, Arc Raiders is having its first kind of community-driven event this week. It's live. They've opened the new map after people have given them all the resources they need and hit the community goal. So that's very exciting. I gotta hop to that after this. Another big news coming out of Arc Raiders was they hit 4 million players. I think last week I talked about how they were at 2.5. So awesome to see the game continue to grow. One stormy rain cloud on this whole thing is they defended their use of AI this week, which got everybody kind of started the rumblings, and everybody got up in arms against them for that. I read a little bit more about what that's about. They used machine learning to replace QA testers, which sucks. So again, all this AI stuff comes at the expense of people losing their jobs. And then the worst of which is I think all the voice lines are voice to text. So pretty lame stuff there. As someone who's seen a budget for VO, it's not that expensive. So the idea that they skimped on 20 or 30 grand to get no-name actors to speak in a line and there's not a lot of voice lines for I don't know, a day or two. It's a little egregious, and I don't know that it's the cost saving. That's where you want to be saving your costs or anything like that. So, but that's, let me know what you think of the game or the fact that it uses AI much like the finals did, down below in the comments. Netflix is finally doing something to kind of bring people into their gaming ecosystem. I don't know even how to access the games that I have access to via Netflix. But there was a whole commercial this week that they're kind of emulating Jackbox, which I'm surprised that they are the first ones to kind of do this. I know PlayStation tried to do this once, but just having the phone as the controller and then not having an app associated with it, or using the Netflix apps, which is already probably on your phone, seems really cool. They're actually bringing real games like Lego Party to this kind of Netflix party. I think that's actually the name of the app or something. ecosystem. So a bunch of really cool games. There's like Tetris in there as well. So interesting to see that Netflix using the Jackbox approach of having a phone as a controller, and this might actually be the windfall that like Netflix gaming probably needs, because up until now I don't know that they've been easy to access and figure out, and that entering that party space, which is when you'd probably have the Netflix app on, among a bunch of people, sounds like a good plan. It took 2 years for Shadow of the Erdtree to come out for the first big DLC for Elden Ring, but it only took 6 months for us to get the new DLC for Elden Ring Night Rain, coming out of the PlayStation State of Play. Elden Ring Night Rain has its first DLC coming in just a few weeks on December 4th. So I know what I will be playing with my friends this holiday besides Arc Raiders. It'll be more Elden Lords to take out in Elden Ring Night Rain. Speaking of AI, Krafton is allowing the developers of PUBG, PlayerUnknown's Battleground, are allowing their employees to opt out as they become a quote AI first company. I am not a financial analyst or expert, but I would say that if you can take severance right now, Krafton employees probably should, because the next one is not going to be probably not going to have severance and not going to be optional. It's going to be a mass layoff when they figure out how to replace everybody with AI. So for any of my Krafton friends, I would probably opt out if I could, unless you're really secure in your job, which with AI, I don't know if you are. Moving on to something a little bit more positive, the Red Cross is doing a blood drive for the next few weeks, starting next week. And for donating blood, they will give you a pair of Pac-Man socks. Everyone's favorite ghost hunting, marble eating protagonist, Pac-Man, could be on your socks if you donate blood at the Red Cross. So excited to see that, and I always like having warm feet after donating blood. The Nintendo and Lego partnership keeps flourishing and blossoming as we get. We've already had one Lego Zelda set. And it sounds like they're going to have another one. They teased something this week that potentially has Ganondorf involved. So looked very kind of Ocarina. So if they make like an Ocarina of Time set, I'm going to be there day one, unless it's like $1,000, in which case I'll ask for it for Christmas. But yeah, looking forward to whatever's going on with the Lego Legend of Zelda set that could potentially come out next year. Speaking of games that actually launched this week, the developers of Before Your Eyes Nice Dreams have come up with their latest game called Goodnight Universe. It's scoring pretty well. I hear the Metacritic is 83, I think, and GameSpot gave it a 9 out of 10. If you didn't play Before Your Eyes, it's like a 2-hour experience, and it uses the camera to track your eye movement, and when you blink, the scene moves on. Very cool technology associated with that. And a very fun game. So looking forward to seeing what this one's about. And as I said, recommended BAFTA award-winning Before Your Eyes. So I trust these developers to make something that'll probably make me cry and something new and innovative. So interesting to see what they do with this. Last few are movies and TV shows. The Super Mario Galaxy movie trailer dropped this week, giving us a lot of the Mario characters, putting us back in the Chris Pratt Mario world, adding new characters like Rosalina and Bowser Jr. Rosalina played by Brie Larson, which is interesting. I didn't know that she was such a big fan, but read an article this week talking about how this is like a full circle moment for her. Still notably missing Yoshi, but it'll be interesting to see they kind of explore the Super Mario Galaxy and the universe of it all. So I haven't actually played any of the Super Mario Galaxy games, but that's probably the second most popular like sub Mario IP. So yeah, interesting to see what they do there. Fun having Jack Black back. Hopefully we get more Anna Joy Taylor, not kicking ass as Peach. Yeah, looking forward to the next movie that'll probably make $1 billion like the last one did. Last but not least, we wouldn't get out of this week without talking about the Fallout Season 2 trailer. I'm so excited. We have a confirmed release date for Fallout Season 2, December 17th. So looking forward to that in just like 5 weeks or so. Um, yeah, very very excited. They have. Sounds like we're gonna do a civil war with the Brotherhood of Steel, which has probably been coming as far as the lore for quite some time. We got to see Kumail Nanjiani joining the cast as on that's going to be helping with this civil war. We got to see Macaulay Culkin be a Caesar's Legion member, which I'm very interested to see what's happening with that because of where we left things off in New Vegas, and just kind of excited to see Death Claws. I think we got an illusion, like someone's deep voice, which I could swear is Ron Perlman. Sounds like they're going to be playing a super mutant, which I'm curious which super mutant it is because there's only a few in New Vegas, and they're not the typical super mutants. So curious to see what they're doing there. We get to see Death Claws. We're going to see a Brotherhood of Steel guy punching some Death Claws. We got to see a Power Fist. It's about to explode someone's head, I assume. Yeah, very exciting stuff. I am very excited for Fallout Season 2. That will be coming out weekly, which, as I keep saying, is the way that shows should be released. Looking at you, Stranger Things, like, give it to us weekly. Give us water cooler moments so we can talk to our coworkers. We don't binge it all in a weekend and then forget it existed. Very excited for Season 2. Looking forward to that December 17th. But that's it for this week. Let me know if you feel I forgot anything down below in the comments. But as always, thanks for watching. I hope you have a super day. I hope you have a super weekend. And I hope you have a super day. Bye!